Oh my goodness. Hey everybody, welcome to Young Money Investments. My name is Cameron Bennion and I am pumped today. Today is a great day. Probably for most of y'all, if you actually knew what was going on in the markets right now, you probably wouldn't be too happy. The markets have had quite a big sell-off. There's been a couple of different things that have kind of catalyzed the sell-off that we've had today. I don't even know what today is exactly, but we've had quite a little sell-off and everything like that. But I want to get into some of the companies that, because of these sell-offs, have great upside potential and everything like that. So I'm super excited. Like I said, I don't know why today is such a good day, but it's kind of like this. I mean, a lot of people, when things go on sale at the store, you're super happy and excited, right? When stocks go on sale or when they drop, people are always upset. They're scared. They want to sell out. And you just have to be able to program your mind and kind of change your mindset to be able to understand and handle the pressures and those kinds of things that come along with that. So we are going to jump into it and kind of get to, I think I have like 4 picks today, or 4 companies that I want to kind of discuss and talk about the chart patterns and things like that. And then let you kind of decide what you want to do with your portfolio and everything. As usual, I am not a financial advisor. I do not have my fiduciary license. I think it's fiduciary. And so just want to let you know that anything you guys do or decide to trade basically is going to be obviously your call and everything like that. So let's jump into it really quick, and I can kind of break down everything for you. Like I said, today has actually been a pretty decent day. So let's see here. We'll hit escape on here. We'll minimize this down and everything as well. If you notice, I have a few different screens. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you include this. 7 screens. Sometimes you just need a lot of information at your hand. So that's the reason for all the screens and everything like that. But let's jump into a couple of ticker symbols and everything like that today. I'll minimize this over here and jump into it. So OLED is a company that makes and manufactures OLED screens for big players like Apple and things like that. Samsung was the main producer of the OLED screens for the iPhone X, but it's had a major sell-off because there has been in the news recent news that's come out that Apple has been working on creating their own micro LED screen. This honestly and truly to me is not a huge deal. There is a huge market for OLED screens and everything as well. It's had quite a sell-off from its high up here of 209. It really has shot up though. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, it's had a run from support all the way up to its high of almost 88%. And that is in, I mean, 6 months time, basically, less than 6 months time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I mean 5 months. I mean, for a company to shoot up 88% in 5 months, that is a massive, massive, massive runner. So with that being said, I kind of see a really good buying opportunity. If you zoom in down here, take a look at the chart pattern and everything like that, how it has continued to trend below the EMA and everything like that. Finding support down here at the $107 mark. You can see it's consolidated several times and had quite a good consolidation pattern on here. If you go even further out, if you go on the year mark, you'll see even more consolidation down here at around $100. So with that being said, I also am looking down here at the RSI indicator. RSI is basically indicating that this particular stock is way oversold. If it's anywhere up here towards the 70 mark, you're going to see quite basically overbought patterns, and where it's been overbought, it's more people have bought into it than what the stock is actually worth. So if you do look somewhere in this pattern right up here at 209, up towards the overbought section, right in here when we were at roughly $188, again overbought. Any of those peaks overbought, a lot of these valleys oversold. So based on the RSI indicator, MACD is also trending down as well. I do need to make a video explaining what the MACD is, RSI, and what all the abbreviations stand for, and I will get into that. But basically, I just wanted to cover this and everything. We came through earnings and everything like that. It slid hard on earnings. And so what you're going to be able to do here is you're going to be able to see where it came down here. Looks like we're having a little bit more of a sell-off down here. We're underneath the golden VWAP for the day trades and things like that. But the reason I see value in this is if you do take a look at this and it is able to hold, I want to make sure that it's consolidating along the support line right here at $107-ish. Even if we were to take a swing trade on this, if you were to buy in here on support, if my clicker will actually work, and we're able to ride it up, you're looking at a percentage of about 22.4%. So you got to ask yourself, 22.4% to swing trade OLED. Like I said, the news really to me is not too scary, especially for a swing trade. If this is able to hold on support and it does not continue to dip down, it's a little bit scary right now, whereas the EMA line is trending down, obviously. But if we can see some consolidation and even riding it up to the SMA, which could also be support, I mean, that is a massive, massive play. A play of upwards of 29%. I mean, if you ride it from here, it's a 30% play, so it's huge. So that is going to be one of the options and one of the call outs that I wanted to make here today. The other one I wanted to go over was Facebook. So Facebook was kind of the catalyst, one of the major catalysts today for the market being so oversold. Facebook is a large multi-billion-dollar cap company. It's a blue chip stock. But as you can see right here, massive, 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 massive sell-off today, which offers and gives us the great opportunity for a dip buy and everything on that. You'll notice right here again, EMA is pointing down, obviously because of the massive sell-off that we've had here. But one thing you will notice on the 180-day chart here is this channel pattern that has been very, very, very consistent. We did right after earnings have quite a peak up above, but if you notice it came back down. Again, it did oversell and everything. You can look at the MACD and everything and where it did take quite a dip because of the massive sell that it had. But it has consistently touched and stayed here within that channel pattern. What we're going to have to do is see within the next couple days if this pattern will continue to hold. If it does, you can also see here on the RSI indicator, massive, massive, massive oversold volume. So those oversold indicators really are great. They kind of show a lot of information as far as more people got kind of FOMO. They were a little bit scared of basically being caught in the dip. But that offers a great opportunity if it is able to stay here on support and be able to stay in this channel pattern. I mean, again, I love companies where I can see quite a large return because the reality is you're never going to get that full percentage gain that you're estimating here. For example, if you were to ride it from support up to resistance, you're looking at about a 6% increase right here. So 6%, so it basically sold off 6% in a day. If you're looking at riding it up to its highs, you're looking at about a 13% increase roughly here. So you got to ask yourself, if you were to buy right in here and were able to ride it up here and take maybe a 5% gain, would that be worth it? For me, the answer is yes. I mean, 5% is 5%. 5% of 5% of 1,000 is only going to give you 500, but 5% of 10,000 is going to give you, sorry, $550 if it's from 1,000, which I know doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're trying to grow your account, let's say 5 to 10% a week, 10% is great. If you can have a 10% growth every week, shoot, if you can make up half of your position, your weekly goal, in one trade right here, especially in a blue chip stock, that for me, if you did get in this wrong, hold it. hold it as a long-term trade, and you're pretty good and pretty solid with that. So I like this idea of buying Facebook. I've already actually purchased a few shares and everything like that. I'm not fully in. I'm going to average cost in depending on how it bounces on the on support here, as well as kind of seeing how the EMA and the SMA end up trending through here. Next call out we are going to look at right here is going to be Tesla. So Tesla is one that I had already called out yesterday, and it has done exactly as I had predicted it would. It was showing signs of a downtrend pattern. It had showed that it was not able to keep holding support up here or keeping to touch resistance. If you've noticed, it's a pretty consistent downtrend pattern where it's not able to reach that resistance level every time. It was able to reach it here, but then it came back down, came back up, wasn't able to touch, and then has continued to trend down right here below the $315 price point, which is big. So as you notice, it trends down through there and everything like that. I'm averaged in, I think, on Tesla probably around $312 per share. I have about 70 shares, I want to say, somewhere around 25,000. I've not taken my full $50,000 position in Tesla yet because I am waiting to see if I can buy in a few more shares down here closer to the $300 price point that I've been looking for in Tesla. As you'll notice, like I said, the SMA is going to continue to trend down. Great indicator, RSI is showing oversold sections right here. So again, it's offering a great swing trade buying opportunity to be able to ride that up. Now again, like I said, ask yourself, you buy down here at the $300 price range and you're able to ride it up, let's say not to the full extent. I mean, up to the full extent, you're looking at about 19% roughly. But if you were able to even ride it up to here, you're looking at about 12.39, let's call it a 12% increase on your position. So again, ask yourself, whatever you're going to take, let's say you take a $10,000 position, that's a $1,200 gain in profits. You have a $1,000 position, that's $120 in profits. You have a $50,000 position in Tesla. I'm just saying it's a great opportunity, and again, I love being able to trade these massive blue chip companies that are worth billions of dollars because I know the volatility is not there. It's a very consistent pattern, and there's a lot of banking institutions and things like that that are long-term invested in these companies, and so it takes out some of that risk that you do get with some of the momentum trades and with some of the penny stocks. Last and certainly not least is going to be Libre Mercado, I believe, M-E-L-I, Libre Mercado, there it is, if it'll load up for me. Okay, so this is basically the Amazon of South America. If you've never heard of it, it's probably not a household name for a lot of you folks, but the Libre Mercado is very consistent, and this is actually awesome. I've not even looked at this chart pattern up until this point that I'm kind of talking to y'all. But if you'll notice here, some of the consolidation it looks like that I've kind of drawn right here, and how that correlates and ties into the SMA line. So your simple moving average, you can see how it's touching, how it literally has come down, and it's using that as support for a bounce. Again, RSI indicator showing a downtrend pattern. You also look at the MACD, it's showing down, showing that it's an oversold, considering that it's at about a 26 right now, 27 on the RSI. If you do zoom out and everything like that, like I said, I'm planning, because it has been trending above the SMA, I'm planning on and assuming that it's going to use that SMA as a bounce and a catalyst to continue to hold up and use that support line and everything like that. It's done it in the past. As you look right here, as it's had some massive sell-offs, it used support on the SMA, came back up, bounced again right off the SMA, and it looks to be as if it'll do the same exact thing, where it's going to hit the SMA, bounce, and we'll see a run up. So ask yourself again, you take a position down here right off the SMA, you have a run up somewhere right in here, about to the same height of where we're at previously, you're looking at a 16% gain. that's good. I mean, that is really good. If you can take a position 16% on your play, let's say you're able to capture maybe 12% of that, a 12% gain is good money, guys. So that's basically all I wanted to cover here today on a few of the positions that I have taken. I don't believe I went over Overstock, which is another one that I've been day trading. I probably traded that one 3 times today. So if you have any questions, if there's anything that you want to know more, leave it down in the comments section, guys. I can't think of anything else specifically that I wanted to cover, that I felt like I needed to go over or anything like that. Like I said, my goal in the channel now is to kind of start giving out some of my opinions on some of these plays that I'm taking. Doesn't mean I'm always going to be right. I'm learning a lot as well. I'm not the expert. I'm not the Oracle from Omaha, Warren Buffett. I am just Cameron. And so I'm going to try and teach you some of the best plays and some of the things that have really helped me to get a foot in the door and to really profit from the stock market. But it doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that all these plays are going to work out. So please take it with a grain of salt. Please do your own due diligence. Please learn from my experience. And please do exactly like I said in two videos ago. Use your paper trading account. If you want to get a handle and get an idea of how these things are going, please set up a paper trading account, because it is going to help you learn but keep you active. You're not just going to have oh, I don't really care about this. I'm just going to look and see if Cameron did it right, and then I'm going to put my own money in. No, that's not the way I want you to do it. That's not the way to do it. That's not the purpose of this channel, is to be kind of a buy here, sell here kind of idea. Although I want to give you some ideas, because the thing is the strategies that I'm using on here could be used universally. These plays and things like that that I'm doing might not be valid in 2 weeks. They might not even be valid in 2 days. But the thing is the patterns and the charts and those kinds of things, the indicators, are all going to work universally for months and years to come. And so focus on those more than what I'm making in profits or what I'm putting into these investments and these swing trades. But I love this stuff. I freaking love it. I love checking these chart patterns out. I love getting to watch everything. If you have any questions, like I said, comment down in the comment section. Please hit that like button for me. I really appreciate it. And also don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Take care. Bye. I just FaceTime Kanye. I told him I'm his biggest fan, yeah. Got all these hoes in my DM.